Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we, am I? In our game, it's not logical, but you contemplate, are we, am I?
Your Toronto Blue Jays, this feels scary to say this. It feels scary to say this so soon, so early, so right away. This first pitch hasn't even been thrown. But your Toronto Blue Jays are 4 wins away from the World Series. That's fact. That's a factual statement. The 2025 Toronto Blue Jays can win 4 more games, and they will be in the World Series. That's pretty darn cool. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me right now on Thanksgiving weekend up here in Canada. Is it the correct Thanksgiving? Let's debate that all night. Robert, are you in the chat? Justin, are you in the chat? Let me know if we can get a poll going. Which Thanksgiving date is better? October, early October, or late November when the Americans got it going on? How about this? The winner of this series right now, the Seattle Mariners against the Toronto Blue Jays, winner gets to go to the World Series to represent the American League. How about the winner also gets to declare that they have the better Thanksgiving? How about that? Is everybody down for that? We add stakes to this whole thing. Kevin Gausman is taking the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. Starting lineups for these two teams are as such. Let's read them out for the people. See if I get this up on screen. Here we go. On the Mariners side, Arozarena, Carl Raleigh, Rodriguez, Polanco, Josh Naylor, the Canadian, Suarez, Canzone, Robles, and Crawford is the 9 they're going with in their batting order. The Jays are going Springer, Lucas, Guerrero, Barger, Kirk, Varsho, Clement, Santander, Jimenez. Those are your starting lineups for the two sides. As I said, on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, Kevin Gausman. At the other end of the dugout, on the opposite dugout, I should say, not the other end of the dugout, Bryce Miller is going for the Seattle Mariners. I got to turn down Buck in my ears there at the pregame playing. Buck Martinez is a little too loud in my ears. That ball's deep, and it's being thrown right now. I had to turn that a little down. How is everybody tonight? Please let me know who has the superior Thanksgiving as we get underway here in Toronto. I have my tea. I have my other The Office mug. I had the World's Best Boss mug today. I got the Michael Scott Paper Company mug. We are running through the Office mugs. First pitch is underway. Randy Arozarena. I knew I was going to screw that up. Randy Arozarena at the plate takes the first pitch for a ball. We are underway in Toronto. Woo! I've never streamed a game with more higher stakes than this. I don't think I have a stream of a NHL game, NHL playoff game this late in the playoffs. Like, I don't think I did any of the conference championships NHL games. Let me see. Four Nations, I did a couple games there, but I didn't do any of the Canada games. I did some of the round robins. So, like, the stakes weren't as high. Those weren't even elimination games. I think this is the biggest game I've ever streamed in terms of the stakes of where the two teams are at in their respective leagues. A conference championship game. Eric Eichel says, when does it start? We're underway. Gausman is behind in the count 3-1 here. Randy Arozarena works the count back to 3-2. Oh, we got to talk about my cup victory. Robert Malloy, first pitch is not scheduled for 8:07. It's scheduled for 8:03. That's why we are underway. Foul ball. 3-2 count still. We got gifted memberships. The Squeezable Lemon just gifted 20 SDPN memberships, and that means we get a little confetti on the screen, little air horns. 20 gifted subs to start our night. If you received an SDP VIP membership, we got a base hit. No, it's not a base hit. It's an out. Yeah. That ball was hit right back up the middle, but thankfully Ernie Clement was positioned beautifully, and he makes the first out of the inning. That ball was just hit. I was like, oh, it's a ground ball up the middle. We go 1 down. Kevin Gausman starts the game with 1 down. Carl Raleigh set the Major League Baseball record for home runs by a catcher in a season. Had the big 6-0, and he starts this thing off with a base hit to right field. Carl Raleigh on first base, hitting .381 in this postseason. Continues to be on fire. That was first pitch swinging a fastball in the zone low. Gosman is my type of pitcher because he likes to throw strikes early. I like that type of pitching, but Kyle Raleigh is also aware of that, takes advantage of a first pitch strike, and he's on first base. Next up, Julio Rodriguez is at the plate to face Gosman. Gosman gets ahead with a slider, 0-1 to start this at-bat. Julio Rodriguez is struggling here in the postseason. Has not been hitting well. Did not hit well in that series against Detroit. So he's trying to turn this thing around here against Kevin Gosman, but I assume Kevin Gosman has other plans about that. He's now 0-2 in this count. Fouls one off to remain 0-2 in the count. B Deep. B Deep says, you're ahead of my stream about 5 seconds. That is great news because just pause the YouTube video and then wait 5 seconds and then play me. So if I'm behind your stream, you'd have to pause your stream and then replay it. But it's perfect. It's super easy if I'm ahead of your stream because then you can just pause me and then resync me with your stream. There's a base hit into center field by Julio Rodriguez. I said he was struggling. He's not struggling anymore to start this series. Kyle Raleigh goes first to third on the base hit by Rodriguez. Seattle starts this game off with an out and then gets 2 base hits. Now they have a man on first and a man on third against Kevin Gosman and the Blue Jays. Not ideal. We had a poll going on the chat. Most elite Thanksgiving, October or November? 80% of you said October. I was not expecting that. I was expecting the majority of people to side with, oh, there's a bouncer to third base. It's going home, and Kyle Raleigh is out at home. What a nice play by Addison Barger to pick up that ball, get it quickly to home with the quick breaking Kyle Raleigh, who was going on contact, throws him out at the plate. Great tag by Alejandro Kirk to block the plate. That's a great start by the Blue Jays. Nice throw. That throw needs to be online. You have no room for error on that play at the plate. Everybody executed perfectly. Gosman got the little chopper. Barger came up with it clean. Nice throw. Kirk placed the tag perfectly. That is good, fundamental Blue Jays baseball. You love to see it. Next up at the plate is Canadian Josh Naylor. Mississauga, Ontario's very own Josh Naylor. What high school did he go to? I gotta know. If you're not aware, I also grew up in Mississauga. That's where I went to high school. How close did I grow up to Josh Naylor? Chat, this is very important. Josh Naylor, personal life. It doesn't say what high school. I just Google it. Josh Naylor pops one up, out to center field. That's the end of the inning. Pops out to Dalton Varsho in center field. Blue Jays, a little nervous there, a little trembly, but Kevin Gosman, that's what we got him for. That's why we got Kevin Gosman. Mary says, Jesse, Raleigh's name is pronounced Call, as in California, not Call, as in Colorado. Am I not? I'm saying Call. I say Call. Kyle Raleigh. I think that's close enough. That's pretty close. Kyle Raleigh. I think I'm nailing it. If anybody disagrees, let me know. Kyle Raleigh. Learning Languages Turbo Linga says St. Joan of Arc, Josh Naylor's high school. St. Joan of Arc. How close was that to my high school? Where's St. Joan of Arc? St. Joan of Arc in Mississauga was... Oh, no. The Mississauga one, please. School Mississauga is 3801 St. Thomas. What area is this? Okay, I gotta zoom out. Sorry, I'm just trying to look up Google Maps here. Oh, okay, it's by 9th Line in Winston Churchill, south of Britannia. So Britannia and Winston Churchill. Okay, so Josh Naylor grew up just north of me, like 10 minutes north. All right, figured that out. Oh, Adnan says Churchill Meadows area. Who says call was safe? Taikian, no. Not even close. Stuart Sharp says basically Oakville. I also grew up in basically Oakville. I was like just south of there. So if I was at Winston Churchill and Burnham Thorpe at Loyola Catholic Secondary School, and then if you drive north like 10 minutes, that's where Josh Naylor went to high school. I'm much older than him, though. I don't know about much, but I'm older than him. Wouldn't have grown up at the same time. Awesome. I knew he was from Mississauga. I'd never looked that up. Ryan says leave Oakville alone. Hey, no, you guys are Shelbyville. We're Springfield. Mississauga is Springfield. You guys are Shelbyville. Snooty Oakville is what you are. No, it wasn't extremely close. There's no... Okay, we're bringing up the slow motion replay of Raleigh at home. You Mariners fans. You Mariners fans in the chat need to chill. Oh my goodness! That ball is deep to right field. George Springer starts this game with a bomb. Toronto gets out of a jam in the top of the first. They go to the bottom of the first. They have their regular season MVP, George Springer, lead off the game with a deep shot over the wall in right field. 1-0 Blue Jays. That's how you start a ball game. Unreal. First pitch swinging. If you missed the start of the game, you missed a 1-0 lead for the Jays. I hope everybody's been locked in. You're not just tuning in. Lee says he hit it a mile or whatever you call a mile in Canada. He hit that thing 10 kilometers. That might have landed in Oakville. Maybe in Burlington. Hamilton. Keep going down the QEW. That ball's still landing. Nathan Lucas is at the mound, is at the plate here. Behind in the count 1-2. All right, we need to debate this call Raleigh play at the plate. Because we have a view that might just change my mind. We have a view that might change my mind about this whole thing. Let's see if we can, at the end of this inning, as we head to the top of the second, we will debate this call Raleigh play at the plate. Because we got replays to go over. Counts even here at 2-2. Here's a pitch by Miller. Fouled off by Nathan Lucas. All right, shall we do more West End of the GTA talk? Is that is that what we're doing all night? Just chatting about things west of Winston Churchill? Two, the count is still. Nathan Lucas here with a good at-bat, fouling off a couple of pitches here. Let's see if he can get something done here. Foul again. Well done, Nathan. This is what Nathan Lucas does. It's already 9. This next pitch will be the 9th pitch of this at-bat. Like, what a great piece of hitting here. In the dirt, 3-2. 3-2. Man, if you run up the pitches and then force them to, like, walk you or you get a hit, we're about to get up to double digits in pitches thrown in this at-bat by Miller to Lucas. My goodness. Foul. Uh-oh. 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 Lucas is down. Looks like it hit him on his kneecap and he's in some pain. James Stemler says Call has the same pronunciation as Call Clutterbuck. Call. I'm saying it. I'm saying it, folks. Nathan Lucas is down here. It's not good. Lucas has been a key piece of this Blue Jays lineup. Had a terrific series against the New York Yankees. Essential part of this defensive team. Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, my gosh. So he fouls off the ball. It goes like right off of the top of his knee. It goes like bat to knee. That hurts. That hurts. All right, let me see if this injury delay is enough time to pull up this play at the plate. They don't have it on. They haven't updated it to MLB.com. So we're going to have to go to Twitter. Let me see. Let me retweet this. Let me see if we can do this. Okay. Here's one image. Oh, Nathan Lucas is staying in the game. All right. I will wait to bring it up. Yeah, Tyson said, is he trying to walk through it? Has he left the game? No, he's like, they're like still tending to him, and now he's trying to walk it around. And now he's back in the batter's box. All right, Lucas is back in. Lucas is back in. 3-2 pitch. We just got to pick up where we left off here. Fouls it again. Oh, my goodness. After all that, he's still able to foul off a pitch here. Unreal. Twelfth pitch of the at-bat. Ball! Nathan Lucas gets lucky on that call. I think it caught a piece of the zone. Wow. All right, we have a second here. What an unbelievable at-bat. Remember, he was behind in that count. I will move myself. All right, let me remove that as well. This is the Call Raleigh play at home. The Mariners probably should have tried to challenge this and see what they could get. Because it's really close. Like, that's so close. That is right there. All right, back to the action. We'll get back to that. Lucas, that at-bat is one for the ages if Vladdy can do something here. This is a perfect start. Perfect start for the Jays. None out here. Vladdy at the plate. Swing and a drive. Caught in center field. That was hit on a rope to Julio Rodriguez. Oh, I got excited. Addison Barger's coming to the plate now with one out. We got Barger at the plate. Still Nathan Lucas at first. Miller, Bryce Miller, still is up to 18 pitches. This next one will be in the first inning. This is exactly what the Jays want to do because Friday night, that 15-inning affair that Seattle had to play in against the Tigers to get to this moment. They used their entire pitching staff except for Bryce Miller. Like, everybody pitched in that game. 8 pitchers. So the 8 guys who had to go in that game on Friday, they're all on one-day rest, and they're back at it. That's why we got Bryce Miller in this game, because they used 3 of their starting pitchers in that game. It's fantastic stuff for the Blue Jays for in the bottom of the first inning to get this guy up to 21 pitches will be the next one. What a perfect game plan. And he walks him! Wow! Ball 4! Your Toronto Blue Jays, everybody! Woo! So, Jays get a home run. They get a Nathan Lucas at-bat where Bryce Miller has to throw 800 pitches, and then he walks him. Next batter is Vladdy, who lines out really hard. That's a barrel to center field. 1 out, but you'll take that great swing every day of the week. And then the next batter is Addison Barger, and he walks. And that's how the Jays start the game. Man on second, man on first. Now we got Alejandro Kirk, Captain Kirk at the plate to hopefully cash in a run here and add to this lead. What a fun start to the ALCS, everybody. Holy cow. Holy cow. Kirk here. First pitch of the at-bat. In the dirt. Bounces one in the dirt to start the at-bat. What do you come back with? What do you come back with there? A fastball? Probably a fastball away. You know, you try the slider in the dirt. You got to throw a fastball here. You got to get a strike over. I think he goes with a splitter, 96. Sinker, sorry. Sinker, 96. You got to start throwing some strikes here if you're Bryce. Another ball. Kirk's ahead in the count, 2-1. My goodness. The Jays just shouldn't swing. No one should swing at anything. Bryce Miller can't find the strike zone to start this game. He steps off the mound. Is the kid nervous? Oh, my goodness. I call him a kid. He's 27, but still. My goodness. What an inning so far for the Jays. I don't care how this inning ends. It's a productive inning. 25 pitches now for Miller. Kirk's 2-2 in the count. Wow. This is productivity from a Blue Jays lineup. First 5 hitters in the game here. Let's see what we can do with this 2-2 pitch. Oh, high pop fly out to center field. Polanco comes out from second base to go grab it. Kirky went swinging and he didn't get his pitch. You could see he was waiting on one, and Miller put in a good spot. A sweeper down and away just on the edge of the zone. That was a good pitch. And Kirky just couldn't get a hold of that one. Couldn't run with it and go the other way. Tried to square up with it, and when you're squaring up with that, you're just going to pop it up. Varsho here also flies out to center field. That's a quick out from Varsho. He flies to Julio Rodriguez. That brings the inning to the end. But like I said, no matter how that inning finished off, it was productivity from the Blue Jays bats. You can't always drive in all the runs, but you can always be patient at the plate and look for your pitches. And that's what the Blue Jays did there in that instance. I love that from them. Bryce Miller, if we check his pitch count right now, it says 27 when he takes the mound back in the bottom of the second. Unbelievable. Jessica believable. All right. Let's take a look at this call Raleigh play. That is what we've been delaying. We also need a game day 365 or game day 365. Game day 360. That Springer home run. I'm trying to see if there's a better angle of the Raleigh slide. Like, okay. This is a pretty good one. Okay, let's take a look at this. Everybody debate. Oh, that's the home run. Let's do this one. There we go. Okay. Everybody debate. Because we got a couple options here. One, even if they challenge, is there enough evidence to overturn? That's, oh my gosh, that blocked my face. That's very important here. Because Raleigh might be safe, and if the call is safe on the field, there might not be enough evidence to overturn it. But because the call was out on the field, do you see enough evidence to bring this thing back? I think he's touched right there. If Kirk's touching him right there, he's done. He's out. So then you can't even bring that back. This is a really close one. I think the right call is out. There, his foot might be, his foot's not touching. And then the next frame is foot's maybe touching and glove maybe touching. And the next frame is both touch. So I'm saying if he touched, maybe, there's not enough evidence here. Not enough evidence to bring this thing back. I'll show you that other view too in 1 second. This is the HD frame here that a lot of people are debating. So that's the frame there that the people want looked at. Yeah, that's an out. That is an out, in my humble opinion. Eugenio Suarez is at the plate for the Seattle Mariners. 0-1, Gausman starts on that count. Jet Legends, I got what I wanted. Jesse would admit it was close. That's enough for me. Great start for the Jays. Did you get what you wanted? I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Suarez here, 0-2. Gausman. Oh, no. Okay, good. Gausman offered a pitch right down the middle. Oh, my God. But thankfully, Eugenio Suarez flies out to Santander. Oh, can we look at this for a second? Can we look at this for a second? Look at this pitch. Kevin, are you kidding me? How was this a good idea? A four-seam fastball at 96 down the heart of the plate? We are so thankful that ball was hit to Suarez. To Santander. Oh my God. I was like, that's gone. I saw that thrown. I saw it hit, and I was like, oh, okay, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. A game over. It's 1-1. We're back to all square. And somehow that stayed in the park. Count your lucky stars, everyone. Count your lucky stars that this game is still 1-0 for the Jays. My goodness. Woo! Ball in the dirt here. No swing there. 2-2 in the count. The DH Dominic is at the plate. There's a nice pitch by Gausman, but it's just off the edge of the corner. Woo! That was close. Couldn't get the umpire to give him that call here. So Gausman sets up again. Does not miss on that one. That one is right in the zone. Let's go. That's a good strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. We have a poll. And we have results. Victor Robles is at the plate now. Starts ahead in the count, 1-0. We asked you, chat, was he safe or out? 85% said out. 15% said safe. I think we have consensus that there's not enough there to overturn that. Because if 85% of you think he's safe, then we can't say definitively that call was out at the plate. One and two here. Gausman ahead in the count. The Rogers Center is getting on its feet here with 2 out, 2 strikes. Gausman throws and he gets a call. That was... Let's take a look at that one. Oh. The Jays get a call there? Let's go here. That fourth pitch, I guess it kind of touches the zone. Kevin Gausman gets the benefit of the doubt on a cold strike, 85 miles per hour slider. But calls go both ways this game. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain when something goes my way and the Blue Jays' way. It's just like how it is. That's life. You know, sometimes you get great calls. Sometimes the calls go the other way. The Jays are really getting some good ones here to start this game. The umpire at home. The guy behind the plate is on the Jays side. Let's do this thing here with George Springer's home run. Game day 3D is what we do here. If you are not familiar with our streams, every home run, we get this little fun animation. And we watch it and we enjoy. No matter which side hits the home run, we are impartial on the game day 3D home runs. But this one just happens to be George Springer at the plate. The first pitch of the game delivered by Bryce Miller was on the outside part of the zone. And George Springer remains his hot self from the regular season. He's carried it over here to the ALCS. He's able to go with that pitch. Hit it perfectly squared on the bat, but chase it the other way. And he knew as soon as he hit it, it was gone. He did not need a look. He did not need to run down to first base. He can start his trot. He can flip that bat because that ball was so unbelievably gone. Let's take another look at this thing and where it landed out in right field. It was an absolute no-doubter from Springer there. You can see it chasing out to right. It doesn't have the landing arc because it was hit so high. There he is running around the bases. That is the lead-off home run for George Springer. We are back in action here with Ernie Clement popping up to Raleigh. Raleigh makes the play at the plate. Ernie Clement had a great series against the Red Sox. He's hitting 600 with a 1.455 OPS. That's so stupid. That is unreasonable. That is an unreasonable stat line for Ernie Clement. That's awesome. Hey, Santander here. Singles. And Robles misplays it. Thank goodness for poor defense. Robles on like a routine play. I got to see this again. So Santander hits it out into right field. Robles comes over. It takes a weird, he doesn't square up his body correctly. He wasn't ready for that ball, it looked like. It looked like from the moment that ball was headed towards the outfield, Robles wasn't ready. Like he had his lineup card in his mouth. Like, he overran the ball, first of all, and then he tries to field the grounder. He's in between hops, and it just goes right by him. And it looks so ugly that he did that whole thing with his lineup card in his mouth. Now there's a fly out to shallow right field, and Andres Jimenez is retired. But that Robles play was hilarious. George Springer now coming to the plate. We just watched his home run. He is back up, getting a round of applause from us and the crowd at the Rogers Center. .952 OPS for George Springer in the playoffs so far. Let's see if he can cash in the runner, Santander, after that error. James Stemler with a super chat. Oh, George Springer is going to ground out to shortstop here. End of the year. Super chat from James Stemler. Didn't know the Yanks series was still going. Yeah, the Yankees known for their poor defense. They might have left a little of that behind at the Rogers Center for the Mariners to pick up. But they get out of the jam. Bryce Miller, after a shaky first inning, is a calmer. He has a calmer second inning. Cranky Canadian Bull says, Jesse, tell MLB to pause the game. I need to use the facilities. You can run. You got half innings to use the washroom. It's a good thing about baseball. There's a lot of half innings. You know, the in-between, just go quick. Michael Roberts says, dude, how badly were you hoping for 20 innings? You're talking about on Friday when it was Detroit and Seattle playing. They played the 15th inning. Reason I said Rangers because Rangers playing the Capitals in the only NHL game. Looking at the out-of-town scoreboards. I was hoping that game never ended. That would have been perfect if that game if it was still playing. They had to delay this because it was still playing. That would have been really cool. That would have been awesome. Trevor says, good start, Jays, but let's cash some of these guys. I agree 100%. Like, you can get away with it a little early where you're not cashing in the runners in scoring position, but that's going to catch up with you if you continue that. Jason says, Seattle had to use some of their starters in that game. They used 3 starters, actually, and that is why we have Bryce Miller here in this game starting it. One thing of note, the Mariners are getting back their ace, Brian Wu. At some point in this series, Brian Wu hasn't pitched since, I think the date's September 19th. Don't quote me on that. Might be September 15th. Somewhere mid-September, he hasn't pitched, and he's been out. But he's going to come back for this series, probably when it goes to Seattle. So their ace was out for that series against the Tigers. They're able to stomach that, get through it. They use a lot of their pitches, and they got to go with Bryce here to start this game instead of their ace, who's still not ready. But Brian Wu is going to be back at some point, so the Jays have to be prepared for that little wrinkle into this series. Big Ron says, Jesse, great job so far covering our beloved Jays. Oh, thank you. I'm glad we have SDBN covering our Toronto teams. Go Jays! That deserves some air horns. Thank you for hanging out. Hey, while everyone is here hanging out, hit like. Hit like on this video. It is a very easy thing for you to do. That's a big help for us. It's a small little task for you, but it's a big help to our channel if you hit like and you hit subscribe. We got a ground ball here to second base. That is Ernie Clement grounding that, throwing it over to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the first out of the top of the third inning. Jays still up 1-0. If we are talking about things about this series and injuries and people returning, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Bo Bichette, who Jason says sucks that Bo still had discomfort. So Bo, who's been out for quite a bit of time here, since September, had an opportunity to run the bases the other day, and that little running of the bases to test how he felt did not go well. He was in a lot of visible pain. Maybe I'll bring it up at the end of this top of the third inning. I'll bring up there was a little video. I probably can't show it. Sportsnet footage. I think it might be the only one. I think there's some cell phone footage too of it. Maybe I can find that one. But Bo tried running the bases, and it was ugly when he got done. So he's not ready. I don't even think, like, if they make it to the World Series, I don't even know if you put him on the roster. You're using up a roster spot for someone who's clearly not healthy. We got a pop fly here to first base. Vladdy's under it, catches it, little flare on it. 2 down, Gausman working quickly here in the top of the third inning. Gausman, 2 outs, gets Randy Arozarena to fly out. Pop out to first base. Robert says, I'll flip it to you. What are you going to flip to me? Baseball? We were running a double play? You playing short, I'm playing second. I'm going to cover the bag. You flip it to me, I throw it to first. Who's at first base? Justin? Is Justin Fisher covering first? We run a double play, you flipping it to me? All right. 0-1 here in the count. Gausman against Raleigh. We remember that in the first inning, Big Dumper did, in fact, reach base. Hitting .409. That's his batting average right now in the playoffs. You want your MVP to deliver, and Raleigh's been doing that for the Mariners. I'm so interested to see how many Jays fans they're going to get out in Seattle when this series flips there in game number 3. Like, are the Canadians going to infect that ballpark? I would love to see it. I would love to see that. 2 strikes here on Raleigh against Gausman. Let's see if Gausman can get the strikeout. The big strikeout on Big Dumper. That pitch is away for a ball. 2-2 in the count. James says, who's on 5th? Who's on 5th base? That'd be a good name for a baseball podcast. 5th base, right? Is that? Nah. That gets a womp. Hey, strikeout! Cut the womp! That's Kevin Gausman striking out Carl Raleigh. Big strikeout from Gausman on Big Dumper, as we said it happened. Gets him to chase that splitter low. Gausman's dealing so far through 3 innings. No runs, only 2 hits. It's good stuff. That's good stuff. Robert says you can flip me the Bo footage. Thank you. Flip it to me if you got it. Oh, Robert sent it. Oh, that's so clutch. Everybody, round of applause for Robert Malloy. Let's see if I can copy and paste this from my phone. Okay, so we're at the top of the 3rd inning, and Ostiomino, I'm probably saying that incorrectly, but Austin Omino says, Jesse, your thoughts on Easton Cowan starting tomorrow? We got to the top of the 3rd inning, and now we have Leafs talk. I thought we'd have to go a little further into game to do Leafs talk, but here we are doing Leafs talk. Easton Cowan starting tomorrow. I'm excited to see his debut. Matthews and Nyes, I think, are easy to play with if you just do the right things. And Easton Cowan has enough hockey IQ to know that I just need to go get them the puck. I just need to be in the right position and do the little things that they should be focused on goal scoring. I should be focused on going into the corners. So if Easton Cowan can do that, he'll be a very effective third on that line. How's that? B. Depp says, super chat here. We got to get to it. From Pittsburgh, I'm pulling for the Jays because of your coverage here. Hey, thank you. Hope you guys go after signing Skeens from the Pirates. F Pirates owners, could you imagine? Could you imagine Paul Skeens as a Blue Jay? That is things dreams are made of. That would be so good. So let's chat about Bo Bichette here. Maybe we can even save this to the next half inning. This is the footage I was talking about, Robert. So yeah, I can stop and go this thing, but we can do it now. We got some time. We can do this now. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's go. Hey, there we go. All right, so this is Bo Bichette running the bases the other day. Let me take that off. It was ugly stuff. You see him try and round second base. So if you haven't caught this, this was the confirmation that Bo Bichette will not be in this series at all. You see him trying to sprint, I was going back. Now let's go forward. Trying to round second base here. You can see him pull up. You see that grimace on his face. I'm Bo, and I'm usually much better than this, but I can't run. But I'm really good looking in my tank. So, like, is this such a bad thing? My guns are out. But I can't run. Here I am. And then he goes, and then he pulls up, and he can't even finish running the bases. So, Bo made it to second base, pulled up a little limp, had to sit down. This was the devastating shots that we saw. Had to sit down immediately because that injury was nagging him. There you see him in his tank. And we got a pop fly. Oh, hold on. A Rosarena pop fly into shallow left. That's caught. Nathan Lucas flies out to Rosarena. One down in the bottom of the third. That was Bo. There you go. That was Bo. We got Guerrero at the plate now. First pitch is in for a strike. One out, bottom of the third. Blue Jays lead 1-0. Vladdy's hitting .500 for the playoffs so far. Was out in his first at-bat. The second at-bat, he's behind 0-2. That ball's foul. Jack Esquire says, fake news, he'll play next game. He can't. He's not on the roster to play, and they can't add him to the roster. The earliest you can see Bo Bichette is in the World Series. Here's Vladdy. The Blue Jays made a couple other decisions, too, with their bullpen for this series. Vladdy grounds it out to shortstop. That's an easy play for J.P. Crawford, who throws out Vladdy. Bryce has really settled in here. Bryce Miller has really settled in after a shaky first inning. He threw, what was that amount? He was 27 in that first one. And then now he's only at 41 pitches. Like, he's really settled in. And Addison Barger here is going to hit one over to the Canadian and ground out. Wow. That was a quick inning. Quick inning there. You know, you start off real hot in that first inning, and you go down quickly. I don't like that. I wish we had more of that hitting, Nathan Lucas hitting we saw in the first inning. But we move on to the top of the fourth. The other note I wanted to add for the roster that the Jays are bringing to this ALCS, Chris Bassitt is back. Chris Bassitt is back, was not in the ALCS, wasn't healthy enough to be in there. They didn't really need him, to be honest. Let him rest. And Max Scherzer as well is back. He was not pitching well. There's no reason to have him in the ALCS. Now they want the option to possibly pitch Scherzer in game number 4. So the rotation for the Jays, Gausman today, Trey Savage tomorrow, Wednesday is Bieber. Wait, that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday day off. Wednesday's Bieber. Thursday is possibly Scherzer. That's what John Schneider and co. have outlined so far for the rotation for the Jays. We have a substitution here. Miles Straw is in for Nathan Lucas. I wonder if the injury that Nathan Lucas had where he got hit on the knee is hampering him a little bit. That's fascinating. Miles Straw goes into right field. Yeah. It looks like he couldn't play through it. He tried his best, but they're showing him in the dugout, and there's a small limp in Nathan Lucas's gait. So he is being removed from the game, and that's it. Oh, Wes Richard. Shout out Wes, who's in the chat right now. Wes gifts 10 SDP VIP memberships. If you were gifted an SDP VIP membership by Wes, you are now a member of this channel. You get special emotes in the chat, and you get access to an extra episode of the Steve Dangle podcast every single week. First pitch by Julio Rodriguez is fouled off. Julio Rodriguez at the plate. The 0-1 pitch from Gausman is fouled off again. Wes says, better late than never. Go, Jays, go. Thank you for being here, Wes. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now. Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. I hope you spent some time eating turkey, getting some tryptophan into your veins. Hey, that's a great strikeout by Kevin Gausman. His 4th strikeout in 3 1/3 innings. Oh, that was a good pitch. That was a splitter. That was a splitter. He threw it like this. Oh, it was like, oh my goodness. That grip on that splitter is real nice. I think this is a Gausman grip on a splitter here. Against these seams maybe a little bit more. But yeah, that was a good splitter. Got him. Fooled him. Polanco's at the plate now. Jorge Polanco, number 4 hitter. Ball in the dirt. That's a 2-0 count right now. Denise is hitting on something we should talk about here. Trey Savage had a pregame media availability. Foul ball there. 2-1 in the count. Had a pregame media availability, and unprompted, he brought up the fact that people were hounding his friends and family online because of his performance. I assume that's Yankees fans. Here's Gausman to Polanco, 2-1 count. Polanco grounds it over to Vladdy, who hustles to first base and gets Polanco. That is 2 out in the inning. So, Trey Savage had to ask people, hey, stop harassing my family because I'm good at baseball. Like, how ridiculous is that? Like it blows me away that sometimes people can be such doorknobs about things. It's baseball. Like, we're very passionate about our teams. But, hey, Emo Jalapeno, shout out Emo Jalapeno. Getting some confetti here. 5 SDP memberships gifted to the chat. All Trey Savage has done is be one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball since he's been called up. He's had 4 career starts, and all of them have been pretty exceptional. He's been really good. And as a result, Yankees fans decided to bombard his family with messages online. He didn't go into details about who it was, but it might have been like his girlfriend or his dad or his mom or someone, but they're receiving like nasty DMs and tweets and all that. And it's like, you guys, I get you talking smack online to fans of other teams and that sort of thing, but to harass players' families, line crossed, ridiculous. That's something you can crash out about. Naylor here. Mississauga's very own. Mississauga's very own hits it high and deep to center field. But that is not deep enough for Dalton Varsho to get under it. That is a loud out number 3 for the top of the 4th inning. And Kevin Gausman, as per the broadcast, has retired now 7 batters in a row. Hit like on this video if you have not hit like yet. He's been hit hard. Am I allowed to be worried? Chat. Am I allowed to be a little concerned by how hard Kevin Gausman is getting hit right now? He likes to throw strikes. I like pitchers who like to throw strikes. But the Seattle Mariners are hitting the ball hard. But they're keeping it in the ballpark. I'm concerned, but the results, how can I complain? I can't complain about the results, right? If the results say no runs, no hits, 7 in a row, retired, how can I complain about Kevin Gausman's pitching? Right? Let's check out where that Josh Naylor flyout was thrown. Oh, okay. Take a look at this, folks. I'll pull this up here. So, as you can see there, that 4th pitch by Kevin Gausman was thrown pretty in the zone, a 4-seam fastball, but Josh Naylor gets slightly under it and isn't able to hit it out of the ballpark. Shrug? Shrug? Do I just shrug that off? Do I shrug that off and say, you know what? It stayed in the ballpark. I can't be mad at that. James Stemler says, imagine being a super efficient cashier and having a customer threaten your family because you're too efficient. That's how those dumb fans look. Yeah, you're not a real fan. You're not a real fan of sports if you're harassing these people who are playing. That means you don't understand the game. Because if you understand sports, you know it's not anybody's family's fault that they're good at it. Like you're not allowed. You're not allowed to enjoy this sport if you're doing that kind of stuff. Get out. Get out of the sports club. You're out of here. That's how I feel. Let's see what Captain Kirk here can do against Miller. Oh and 1 in the count. Bryce Miller on the mound still for the bottom of the 4th inning. Throws that ball high. 1-1. Jason said Jays needs to re-sign Kirk. What about that Bo contract? It's if the Jays, I can't even say. If the Jays like make the World Series without Bo Bichette, like what does that say? What does that say about paying him $200 million? Austin Omino says, does Chris Bassett start game 4? Alejandro Kirk here is flying out to left field. Arozarena gets under it, catches it. Kirk retired for the first out of the inning. The plan right now is Scherzer game 4 is what they're saying instead of Bassett. We'll see. I'll read you the quotes on Bassett here. Where was it? Pete Walker said, the days off, how you use your starters is a little different. The best of 7 is a little more traditional sometimes, but we'll think things through and come up with the best group to give us a chance. That wasn't the quote there. Let me see if we got some Bassett info. There is a pop fly by Varsho that Raleigh goes back to chase, but he can't get it. It's into the stadium there at Rogers Center. Brule came out for Scherzer and Bassett went in for Nance. Here it was. Oh, that's a good strikeout. Varsho strikes out swinging there. High fastball. Oh. Nice pitch. Nice pitch by Bryce Miller there. And Ernie Clement here coming to the plate. First pitch swinging. Lines out to center field. That is the end of the 3rd inning. Toronto. 2 things. 1, this was from Shai Davidi. Max Scherzer is likely to factor in game 4, but Blue Jays will keep him available for other uses as needed. There's a Scherzer. Confirmed. Chris Bassett will be in the bullpen ready for anything. Bassett's your reliever. Scherzer, you might be your game 4 starter. Savage goes game 2. Bieber goes game 3. Gausman is on the mound coming up in this half inning. The Blue Jays bats. The Blue Jays bats have started just swinging at everything. What the hell is happening? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this ridiculousness. This isn't fun. Okay, so Alejandro Kirk here. 4 pitches. 4 pitches, not great. Varsho, 3 pitches, not ideal. Ernie Clement, 1 pitch, not ideal. Come on! Wait on some pitches here, people. Wait on some pitches. Don't be so quick. Wait out these at-bats. His pitch count was going up so high. It was running up there early on in the game. Now he's through 4 innings and he's thrown 50 pitches. That's right on pace. That's right on pace. That's perfect if you're Bryce Miller. Fluffy Whale says, when Bryce Miller is healthy, he's a beast. He's not 100%, but he's closer to that than early this season. Yeah! He's on 3 days rest. Bryce Miller has never pitched on 3 days rest in his entire career. And we're just like handing him outs. Come on. Come on. Is Cassie in the chat? Hey, shout out Cassie in the chat one time. Cassie said she fell asleep when she got home from work, so sorry I'm late. That you are forgiven, Cassie. Thank you for being here. We are going to the top of the 5th inning. Gosman's on the mound. He has thrown 52 pitches so far in this game. 35 of them for strikes. He's got 4 strikeouts. He is up against, I'm gonna say this, Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez. I don't got the accent in there, but I try my best. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do, people. All you can do is try your best. We should, now that we are 4 innings through this thing, into the top of the 5th, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Go get that, Vladdy. Vladdy catches it. Suarez is retired for the first out of the inning. We need to play our favorite game that we play on stream. If you're not familiar with these Blue Jays streams, we always have at least one time while we're watching the game. What are you eating? Your goal here is to make the rest of the chat salivate for the food that you are eating. We got a pop fly here. Canzone swings at the first pitch. Kevin Gausman retires the first 2 batters here. Beautiful stuff by Gausman. Let me know what you are eating on this Thanksgiving in Canada weekend. Make the rest of the chat salivate for your food, and we will go through it. I will shout you out if you give me what you're munching on, or what you did munch on earlier for your Thanksgiving Turkey Day dinner if you are celebrating today or this weekend. There is a Robles hit out into the corner in right field. That is why Miles Straw is out in right field to catch those balls. What a quick hitting by the Jays. You love to see it. That was fantastic. That'll get you pumped, baby. Oh, man. Gausman makes quick work of the Mariners after Bryce Miller makes quick work of the Jays. We send it right back in their face. Love to see it. Let's go through your meals. Nice grab by Straw indeed. Nicole B with the pumpkin pie with whipped cream. Hot take, we can get back to this. If I'm power ranking pies, number 1, pumpkin. Number 2, apple. Every other pie, take it or leave it. That's my pie opinions. Pumpkin pie is number 1. It's my favorite pie in the universe. Nothing beats pumpkin pie. Apple pie is number 2. Nothing beats a really good apple pie, except for a really good pumpkin pie. More American than you says poutine with Costco gravy. I'm not a big gravy person. Anastasia, butter pecan tart. Hashtag Thanksgiving. Steven Schiller says homemade popcorn, extra butter and salt with some fruit snacks. Andrew, cookie dough ice cream with Kit Kat whipped cream and chocolate syrup. Oh my goodness, the blood sugar is going to raise on that one, Andrew. Mason, homemade birria tacos with flaming hot lime Cheetos. Hot Cheetos and tacos? Cassie, my dinner was a bottle of Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Be jealous, everyone. I don't know if we're salivating at that one, Cassie. That's awesome. Beatrice says Nutella donut. Harvey's Burger and Fries, says Logan. Joshua, just bread. Struggle meal. Josh, eat something more than bread. Robert Malloy's salmon. We don't really do Thanksgiving. Salmon's good. Salmon's great. It's good for you. Tastes delicious. Salmon, great fish. Steven, potatoes, brought cauliflower samosas. We got Deb who says homemade guac and chips. Love a good homemade guac and chips. We got Tigger, 66625 says pierogies in Seattle. Nice. Love a good pierogi. Tyson, beef short ribs with roast potatoes and bratwurst and onion stuffing was awesome. Tyson might win this. I don't know if anybody's beaten that. Beef short ribs with potatoes. T.A. Neiman comes close. Pulled chicken sandwich with extra barbecue sauce. I love pulled chicken. But, I don't know, beef short ribs is winning right now. James, turkey dinner with mash and veggies, cranberry. Paired it with a side of mac and cheese because screw it. That's a classic. Turkey, mash, mac and cheese, cranberry, veggies. We are heading now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Santander is at the plate. He's behind in the count, 0-1. Bryce Miller continues to deal after a shaky first inning. He's at a solid 3 innings after that. 0-2 is the count now on Santander. More American than you, calling out the squeaky voice. My vocal cords just they cut out at a certain range. They can't. Oh, strikeout there. Santander strikes out. Whew. That's Miller's 2nd strikeout of the day. B. Depp says cherry pie, number 1 to me. Mason Manning. Pecan pie has to be up there. I forgot about pecan pie. Pecan pie is number 3. Pie rankings. Pumpkin, apple, pecan. Those are my 3 pies. Key lime comes in at number 4. Key lime pie is delicious. I think that's the 4. Everybody's shocked at the Costco gravy. Let's see what Andres Jimenez can do at the plate here. 0-1 is the count. Grounds the ball to second base. Throw over. 2 outs in the inning. Blue Jays bats have died. Blue Jays bats have disappeared here. I would like to know where they went. Where are the Blue Jays bats? George Springer's back up at the plate. Maybe he can find the Blue Jays bats here, because I have not seen them in a long time. Santander had that hit out into right field. That was an error on the play, and he got to second base. And then after that, nothing has happened. Springer takes a fastball up and in. Pecan pie #1, says Phil Smith. Banana cream pie is not top 3, Skyak. I'm sorry, Skyak. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Banana cream pie is not better than key lime. It's not better than apple. It's not better than pumpkin. It's not better than pecan. Springer 1-2 count here. 2 outs. Takes a pitch away. Lays off. 2-2 now. George Springer 2-2 pitch again. Fouled off on a very, very fight-off swing. Gives a little to the camera at his ugly fight-off swing. Oh, strikes out. George Springer strikes out. Bryce Miller cannot be contained right now. Bryce Miller had one, not even that bad of an inning looking back. And since then, Bryce Miller has just been shutting down every J that comes to the plate. Wow. The Jays are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. They've left 3 on base so far. Their bats aren't working right now. We have St. Louis to the max with a super chat. Thank you. You have earned yourself some confetti. Curious for a Canadian's opinion. Should the Jays wear their Canada Day Reds tomorrow for Thanksgiving? No. You don't wear them for Turkey Day. You keep that special to July 1st. I think it's a unique day. It's special because you only wear it once. Right? I think that's the key here. You keep it special. You only wear it once, it's special, so you leave it. You don't wear it tomorrow. Great question, though. That's a funny question. Emo Jalapeno says, blueberry sucks. It tastes like nothing. Facts. Blueberry power is not that great. William Grant says, I wouldn't eat the top 4. Banana cream rocks. Mincemeat pie. No. Mincemeat pie doesn't count. Then we're getting too esoteric. Mincemeat pie doesn't count. I'm talking dessert pies. Nobody's having a mincemeat pie for dessert. Okay? Doesn't count. Kevin Gosman is coming back to the mound. Smokewater says mincemeat pie #1, Jesse. No, it doesn't count. Nobody has a mincemeat pie for dessert. Emo Jalapeno pulled pork meat pie. Yum. No, doesn't count. Doesn't count. Kendra, I will not stand for blueberry slander. Blueberry pie sucks. Yeah, who said you got to load it up with sugar, right? Neil's like, you got to load it up with sugar. Anything you got to load up with sugar, you're not eating the blueberries, you're eating sugar. The Blue Jays have a man up in the pen. It is Louis Varland warming up just in case. Corrupted says, can't believe the bats just stopped hitting. Yeah, I don't know what is happening right now. They look so good so early against Bryce Miller. They're working the counts. And then all of a sudden, second inning on, they can't do anything. Even the Santander inning, wasn't even too bad. He got that hit, and they made some hard contact. Like, there was hard contact being made in that first inning. And then it's just, he's found something. Bryce Miller has to shut this team down. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. 3-1 here. The count is 3-1. Gausman against J.P. Crawford. He deals a fastball right down the middle. Swing and a miss. That was a great pitch. 94.3 miles per hour. Crawford swings through it. 3-2 pitch here. None out. Top of the 6th inning. Both pitchers pitching gems here. Gausman with his little bounce 1-2. Fires. It's a ground ball to second. Bobbled. But Clement picks it up and is able to throw it over to Vladdy for the first out of the inning. Alex says, I love our bullpen. You are one of the rare Jays fans. You're one of the rare Jays fans that is confident in this bullpen. James here with the super chat. After last series, a 1-0 win would be hilarious. I agree. And with the amount these bats have been going, to see them just go quiet like this, but then the pitching hold up, this would be an awesome way to get this victory. Arozarena now at the plate to face Kevin Gausman and his bounce hop. It's a 1-1 count here, 1 out. That strike is in on the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Turiner, after the results of the bullpen game, faith in the bullpen has grown. That is so true. That is very true. That bullpen game was something magical. I'm going to remember that forever. I'm gonna tell my kids about that. Ugh. It's that Vince McMahon meme where it's like back in the day, you know, it's like, what was the Jays game series clinching bullpen game against the Yankees like? And you do that Vince McMahon gif. Oh, swing and a miss there. Kevin Gausman gets a Arozarena swinging. That was a great split finger. That was a great splitter. Thrown real low, perfectly on the low part of the zone. Caught a little bit of it. Arozarena swung right through it. And now you got to face Kyle Raleigh in the most perfect spot you want to face him. 2 outs, nobody on. Gausman, well done. For as bad as the bats have been, is as good as Kevin Gausman has been. This is when you want to face Raleigh. Gausman is dealing 5 strikeouts so far in this game through 5 2/3 innings. 69 pitches. He just pitched his 67th pitch, if that number means anything to you. 2-1 here in the count. Jack Esquire, I am not expecting. Raleigh pulls that ball foul. The count is now brought to 2-2 with 2 outs here. Huge moment in the game. If he can get Raleigh in this top of the 6th inning, make quick work of this Mariners lineup once again. A timeout at the plate. They're resetting here. The pitch clock is on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, top of the 6th, 60 home run. Raleigh is, oh no! Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh. Big dumper. 60 home run regular season. Magic Cal Raleigh opens the scoring for the Seattle Mariners, tying this game with a solo shot out to right field. It's 1-1. Jays, Mariners, top 6, 2 out, 1-1. Emo Jalapeno. The Switch 2 sponsored jersey patch is so dystopian. I've never owned. Actually, no. I have the handheld Switch. Not the one that's like the one where you like play with your TV. I have the like portable one that's more like a Game Boy, like the small one. I don't have it. My girlfriend has it. But it's like the households, you know. Like I can play it if I want. She lets me. She lets me touch it. I get to play it sometimes. Play a little Animal Crossing. It's a good time. It's a good time. 2-1 here, the count to Rodriguez. 2 out still. After Gausman can't retire Raleigh. Cal Raleigh is able to hit a home run out to right field. We will game day 3D that thing for sure. For sure. That ball is inside for a walk. That's not great. Gausman goes from retiring 9 straight Mariners to a solo home run to then a walk on 5 pitches. And here comes John Schneider. Here comes John Schneider to bring out the lefty. Jorge Polanco's at the plate. And he won't face Kevin Gausman because Gausman is leaving the ball game to a standing ovation from the Blue Jays faithful. And the Blue Jays are going to, is it Brendan Little who's coming in? They didn't show who's coming in. I think it's Little. What's happening? Yeah, it's Little. It's Little. Brendan Little's coming in. There we go. They've updated it. All right. Mason Manning with the reason why Gausman is being pulled in this situation in particular. You want to turn Polanco around. He's a good switch hitter, but he's better against righties, so you want to bring in the lefty. It's a smart decision, and I think they kind of always probably earmarked this for the moment you remove Gausman. So this is probably, I'm just guessing, how John Schneider looked at this thing. 3rd time through the lineup. If we're where we want to be, it's the 7th inning, right? If Gausman retires either Raleigh there or Rodriguez, we get to the 7th inning. We got to go 3 innings with our bullpen. We go Brendan Little to kick off the 7th to face Polanco or Rodriguez, and then we go from there. But because Gausman isn't able to retire Raleigh or Rodriguez, you make the move now. You turn around Polanco because the situation is getting real dire because you don't want them to pile on here. So you play the percentages. You turn around Polanco and you bring in Brendan Little, try and get this out here. But that third time through the order, it's always tricky. You're always wondering about a pitcher going the third time. He looked good against Arozarena, and then the second batter, Cal, hits the home run. So it's Gausman's time to get out of this game. Brendan Little is now on the mound, throwing a knuckle curve to start his outing. 0-1, Jorge Polanco. Jack Esquire says Pally is dangerous. Is that what you guys call him, Pally? Yeah, he hasn't been hitting well these playoffs. Only in 648 OPS, but 168 batting average. 2 home runs, though. 3 RBI. Only 4 hits. In the 2025 postseason, 4 hits for Jorge Polanco. That's a good pitch by Brendan Little. 96 coming on the inside. Nice pitch there. Love that one. That was hard. Got him to swing right through it. Coming from a lefty, that's so difficult to see out of the glove, out of the hand. Sorry. Oh, and then a wild pitch. Oh, no. I'm praising Brendan Little, and in the middle of that, throws a wild curveball that goes to the backstop. And all of a sudden, the Seattle Mariners have a man in scoring position. Julio Rodriguez goes to second base. Folks, we have serious baseball on our hands. Man on second, 2-2, 2 out. Another ball in the dirt. Oh, my goodness. Thank goodness we have Alejandro Kirk. What a snag. That is platinum glove back catching right there. Alejandro Kirk snags that one. Keeps Rodriguez at second base. Now the count's 3-2 to Jorge Polanco. Brendan Little in the game, 2 out, 1-1 on the scoreboard. The pitch fouled off. Woo! We have a tense one here, ladies and gentlemen. A base hit here could give Seattle the lead. It is 3-2 in the count. It is 2-0. 2 out in the inning. Top of the 6th inning. The 3-2 pitch is coming. And it is hit into left field. That is going to be a run for the Mariners. That is 2-1 on the scoreboard. 2 out, top of the 6th. Brendan Little comes in through a couple nice pitches. Throws a wild pitch. Julio Rodriguez is able to advance from first to second. Jorge Polanco hits a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that's on the inside part of the zone into left field. Santander runs over, fields it, gets it into second, but Rodriguez scores easily. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That is an ugly wild pitch. As Joe calls it, a brutal wild pitch indeed. Graham says, every time I tune in, Jays have some collapse. Graham, maybe it's your fault. Thank you for the super chat. These air horns are for your super chat. As James says, small mistakes aren't small in big games. That's very well put, James. Small mistakes aren't small in big games. Little things matter so much. Now we are 0-2 Josh Naylor against Brendan Little. Timeout at the plate. Oh, they're saying Naylor didn't get settled in the box until Brendan Little needed to give him some more time before getting onto the rubber. That's another ball in the dirt that needs to be blocked by Kirk. Brendan, throw the ball in the air and not on the ground. What are you doing? Don't like this. Graham says, I'm going to do y'all a favor and leave. Graham, thank you. If this is your fault, you need to get out of here immediately. Pickoff attempt there by Brendan Little. Josh Naylor at the plate. 1-2 count. 2 out. Let's see what Naylor can do with this, or what Little can do with this 1-2 pitch. Hey, there it is. There it is. That is a good strikeout, but that strikeout comes after the Seattle Mariners put 2 on the board in the top of the 6th inning to make this thing a 1-run lead for Seattle. Let's go back to a little earlier in this top of the 6th inning. Cal Raleigh is at the plate. And what does Big Dumper do but hit a big home run out to right field? Here it is. On the game day 3D view, Gausman pitches it, and Cal knew as soon as he hit it that thing was gone. There he is rounding the bases. There Gausman is upset. Gausman knew as well. Watch it from the pitcher view. Gausman knew as soon as he threw this thing, as soon as it was hit, he knew. Oh, look at him. Oh, they have the animation and everything. Oh, Gausman, I feel for you. He knew that thing was gone. And then one more view, the action view here. Sorry, giving everybody vertigo. Can we see it from? Oh, there we go. Okay, reset. Cal at the plate. Gausman delivers. Hit out way out to right field. He rounds the bases. That thing's gone. That's 1-1 Jays and Mariners. And then the Mariners would add the insurance run, the go-ahead run, I should say, to go up 2-1 in this game. Justin Fisher. Justin Fisher says from the SDPN account, this is impressive technology, but until they can faithfully depict Big Dumper, I don't know if we can rely on its accuracy. I don't know if we want that. We're going to get If they had a body scan of Kyle Raleigh, we might have some very unwanted social media posts from people doing things with that game day 3D. If you had a anatomically correct, I think that's the proper way to put it. If you had an anatomically correct big dumper in the game day 3D, you're going to get a lot of things that you don't want to see. People are going to have too much fun with that. Jack Esquire's right. It's going to be worse than an Ice Spice video. MLB knows what they're doing. Don't put that in the game day 3Ds. Miles Straw's in the game. If you remember, he had to switch in defensively for Nathan Lucas, and now he's hitting for the first time today. Nathan Lucas, if you weren't here earlier in the game, Miles Straw pops it up to center field. It's coming in. It's caught. Julio Rodriguez catches that ball in center field. 1 out in the inning. Nathan Lucas, if you weren't here for the first inning, fouled the ball directly off the top of his knee. It looked like it hurt a lot. He was down. He tried to walk it off. They're calling it a right knee contusion. Hazel May with the report there. A right knee contusion for Nathan Lucas. He tried to play with it for a little bit, and then he couldn't play through it, and they had to take him out. Now Miles Straw's in the game, and Miles Straw flied out to center field, and now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is at the plate. It's 0-1, 1 out, 2-1 Seattle, bottom 6. Vladdy takes one in the dirt. It's 1-1. Time for a sip of tea. Edward Brazardo and Gabe Spire are warming up in the pen for the Mariners. Vladdy swings through that one. That's a righty and a lefty warming up for the Mariners. They're going to try and match whatever hitter is at the plate whenever Miller stops pitching so darn well right now. Bryce Miller is pitching a gem. And the Jays need to find some way to stop this. Vladdy, can he do it? Nope. That ball's grounded up to second base, but great defensive positioning by the Mariners infield there. And they throw out Vladdy at first. Polanco runs over to his left after being perfectly positioned there in the infield to just trot over to the other side of second base and throw out Vladdy. 2 outs in this inning. Addison Barger coming to the plate. 67 pitches thrown by Miller. The Blue Jays have not had anything going. Uh-oh. The home plate umpire needs to walk off this one. Cal does not catch it, and the umpire gets hit. You got to catch that ball. Uh-oh. Ow. Whoa, that's got a sting. Let's check the miles per hour on that pitch. That was a 96 mile per hour fastball that the umpire just took off the inside of the thigh, and he's going to have a nasty bruise if there's no protection there. That looked like it hurt. Oh. Addison Barger gets the benefit of the call there. 3-0 now in the 3-0 in the count. 2 out. Billy Burlington clarifies. Hey, there's a walk. Addison Barger walks with 2 out. as Justin Fisher in the SDPN account points out, the strike zone might have grown a little there. The strike zone might have grown a little there because the umpire's pissed. Who knows? You shouldn't do that. I don't believe you they did that. You shouldn't do that. That's underhanded and petty. Is Miller coming out of the game here? The Mariners are going to the mound. It doesn't look like he's coming out. No. He's going to face Kirk. They've had Kirk's number so far in this game, so I don't think there's a reason to pull Miller here. You just keep running. You just keep running him out there till his arm falls off because he's dealing right now. And the Jays have no answer for him. If he just continues to throw strikes, like he's going to get these batters. Here's Alejandro Kirk at the plate. 2 out, 2-1 Seattle. That's a first pitch strike. 87-mile-an-hour slider right in there. That was a good pitch. Alejandro Kirk here. 0-1. Outside. That's a ball. Jet Legends. That was a ball. That's for the sarcastic ball count. I like when the dudes who are in the 500 levels, a pitch is thrown, and then he's like, "Hey, that was a strike," and he's like in the top of the dome, the sky dome for those, not like your head dome. Like he's in the bleachers, and he's saying that's a strike. Those are always funny. That's good. That's good baseball chirping. That's good baseball banter. Love some good baseball banter. 1-2 of the count here with Kirky. Miller deals. Barger was stealing to try and get a man into scoring position here with 2 out. But Kirk fouled off that pitch. Maybe it was a hit and run. It didn't look like a hit and run because Barger slid into second. So it couldn't have been a hit and run. That was a good steal attempt. It looked like he was ahead. But it was a strike in the zone, so Kirk had to fight that off. Let's see what he can do here with this 1-2 count. 2 out. Bottom 6. Miller dealing. Captain Kirk, what you got? High fly ball to left field. It's very shallow. Blue Jays go down. 3 outs. Bottom of the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. Does anybody in the chat know where the Blue Jays bats have gone? Where in the world are these bats? Is it just Bryce who's too good? Like, is that's not an excuse. Bryce Miller. Our good old Brycey boy is pitching on 3 days rest. This entire Mariners bullpen, 8 of them to be specific, pitched on Friday. 8 guys pitched on Friday. Your whole goal this game, Toronto Blue Jays, should have been to get this thing to the tired arms in the pen. This is the ideal scenario for Seattle. This is how you lay it out. If you're writing a perfect script, you're Martin Scorsese laying down a perfect script for this game for the Mariners. You say, I want our starting pitcher to go a million innings and save our pen. It's going to save it for tomorrow. It's going to save tired arms for not coming into this. You could have been ahead of this series in every way if you just got to that pen early, and the Jays couldn't do it. That's what's incredibly disappointing about this game so far. That is incredibly disappointing. The one thing they could have done that would be ideal to win this game and, like, get an advantage in game 2. Because then the tired arms are pitching again. They're getting more tired. And so far, we're 6 through this. Remember, there's 3 innings left. It's not over. They haven't done it yet. They haven't done it yet. Still time. We had a super chat here from James who said that the Jays left their bats in Yankee Stadium. They just might have. They just might have. Back to the action here. Louis Varlin is in for Brendan Little. They have gone to the right-handed throwing Louis Varlin to face Suarez here, who fouls one off. It is 0-2 in the count. Oh, and 2 in the count. 1-2 here now. Louis Varlin has pitched pretty good lately. Not too much to complain about Varlin, if memory serves me correctly. Varlin throws a knuckle curve over at 2-2. That is a ball for 3-2. 3-2 to Suarez. Varlin cannot afford to lose this first batter of the inning, his first batter of his outing. The Blue Jays bullpen has struggled with walks. They have not allowed a lot of hits. This was especially apparent in the Yankees game, the clinching game in game number 4. They were solid when they were throwing strikes. But when they worked around the edges, they lost a lot of batters. I believe it was 6 walks that game. 3-2 pitch is fouled off here by Suarez. So we will re-rack for 3-2 again to see what Suarez has going here with the 3-2 pitch from Varlin. And that thing is hit very far, very deep. It is off the top of the wall. Suarez is into second. I think he thought he had a homer off the bat. Varsho, if only Dalton Varsho was 14 feet tall, he would have caught that ball. That ball was right off the top. It hit the blue line on the top of the wall. Oh, just in front of the blue padding. If it hits the top of the blue line, that's a home run, but it hit in front of the blue line, so it's not a home run. I think Suarez off the bat should have been running a little harder because he thought it was a home run, but thankfully he got into second with plenty of time. Canzone is now at the plate here with none out, man on second. He swung. No, he did not swing. They say he check swung there. Justin with the important question. Did Varsho consider jumping several feet higher? I think he should have. Now we have a ground out by Canzone. And Suarez is over to third. McSwedish with a great point. Before the renovations, that's a home run. Yeah, old Rogers Center, Sky Dome, that thing's gone. The renovations are so good. I've had this rant before on these streams. Rogers did a great job with the renovations. It feels like a ballpark. It is now an attraction to go to. People visit Toronto and they want to go see Rogers Center. It's fantastic. It's a baseball diamond again. It used to just be an old lifeless building, and now it's a baseball diamond. They keep saying the Mariners aren't checking their swings here. It's a little iffy. That one, Robles probably definitely checked his swing there. It's a little iffy, but like throw strikes. Oh my God. Robles hits a long foul ball out to left field. Just foul. Way foul, but deep. Deep pitch there. Deep hit there. Foul ball. Sir Anthony Dominguez is now warming up in the pen. Swing and a miss by Robles. Woo. Let's see what Robles can do against Varland, or if Varland can get the out here. 1-2 pitches swung through. Robles strikes out. 2 outs in the inning. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. Two outs in this inning makes things a lot easier here. That is great. Okay. So now JP Crawford's at the plate. Number 9 hitter. Things are a lot easier with 2 out. You're not worried about a sac fly. You're not worried about a ground ball. You can play the infield back. It's the number 9 hitter. Varland should be able to get out of this inning. I'm hoping he's able to get out of this inning. Let's see what he can do. You don't want to allow any more runs here. The Blue Jays bats have not been going. Runs have been hard to come by. They need to limit the damage as much as possible. And Varland falls behind 3-0. "3-0 is the count here. Strike down the middle. He was taken all the way. Three and 1 is the count now. 2 out in the inning. Strike! Louis Varland got a strike call that he shouldn't have gotten there. And the Jays have been on the right side of a couple of those. Let's see what he can do with this 3-2 pitch after the ump saves his life. Ground out to second base. Jays get out of it. They're bailed out by the home plate umpire. You absolutely love to see it. This is a bad call here. Let me see if I can bring this thing up. All right. Look at this thing that just saved the Jays. You can't do anything but laugh. All you got to do is laugh. That 5th pitch, that cold strike, that is unbelievable. That is Unbelievable. I'm sorry, Mariners fans. If you're in the chat right now, I'm sorry. You guys got screwed. There's no way that was a strike. There's no way that was a strike. We have a pitching change on the Mariners side of things. Bryce Miller is officially out of the game. Bryce Miller on 3 days rest, something he's never done in his entire career, goes 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 earned run, 2 hits. 2 hits. That's a good outing. That is a great outing for your ALCS debut. And now the Mariners are going to the lefty. Gabe Spires on the mound here. He's going to face Varsho, Clement, and Santander. Gabe Spire to face Varsho, Clement, and Santander. The Jays are down to their final 9 outs. This is the team that has the most comebacks in Major League Baseball. If you think this thing is done, you're wrong. It's not done. The Jays got something left here. Can they pull it out of themselves, though? That is the question. We know they can do it because they have done it. You have to learn from history. And history says that this Jays team is the best in the league at getting late hits. This is how they've played all season long. Do not forget that. It's just a matter of, will this be one of those games where they do it again? Varsho now, 1-2 in the count. None out in the inning. Ball away, 2-2 in this count. Robert Malloy, bottom of the 7th, is not done in baseball. That is for certain. Plenty of baseball left, and that's Dalton Varsho hitting one out to center field. But it is right at Julio Rodriguez, who gets under it for the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. Matt Brash is warming up in the pen. The Seattle Mariners are trying to get the Canadians to eliminate the Canadians. Matt Brash from Kingston, Ontario. And there's a fly out to right field by Ernie Clement. That is 2 out in the inning. Gabe's dealing. After Bryce dealt all day, Gabe comes in, gets 2 batters in 6 pitches, 2 outs. Santander is coming up to the plate to try and break this hitless streak here. Santander is the last Jay to get a hit in this game. Santander had a hit in the, what was that? 2nd inning. Since the second inning, the Jays are hitless. Oh, my goodness. Santander out to left field. Oh. Randy Arozarena comes in, is able to scoop a ball before it hits the dirt. What a running grab. Right off the top of the turf. Arozarena with a hit-stealing grab to retire Santander. And the streak continues. The Jays have now gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive innings without a hit. 2 full times through this lineup without a hit. They are getting shut down by the Seattle Mariners right now in game number 1 of the American League Championship Series. They're getting a lot of hard hits, though. If we can give them some credit, they are putting the bat on the ball in they're getting some barrels. Like that Santander one, even the Varsho hit, it's just hit right to the center fielder. It was a hard hit ball. It's not enough, though. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Those types of victories aren't good enough when it's game 1 of the American League Championship Series. We need to get some hits here. Let's check in with you, the chat. Greg Knight says, you don't think they're feeling the pressure that are they? The Mariners got the same pressure here, right? Like, there's a lot of expectations on this Mariners team. Some of the best Mariners team. This first time in, 21 years they're back in the ALCS. They're coming off that long game on Friday. They had to fly across the continent to Toronto. You get in here, you play this late game. The pressure is equal on both sides here. The pressure is equal on both sides. The difference right now is one hit. The difference is they had Cal Raleigh come up clutch. And the Blue Jays have not been able to find a hit from anybody in this lineup outside of Springer in the first inning, Santander a single in the second inning. They got a couple walks, 3 walks to be exact. And then that's it. They haven't really struck out, like 3 strikeouts. It's a 1-run ball game. It's literally 1 swing of the bat for any hitter that comes up in the 8th or 9th inning here. But that's the thing. We're running out of outs here, people. We are running out of outs. 6 left in this game for the Toronto Blue Jays. Randy Arozarena at the plate here to face Sir Anthony Dominguez, who is in the game for Louis Varland. High fastball in 97. Runs up on Arozarena. 2-0 is the count. None out. 2-1 Seattle. The Jays can't allow another run. The Jays can't let Seattle get another run here. Their bats are they're too cold. They got to keep this thing a 1-run game. Mick Swedish says, yes. Is Lucas out? The answer is yes. He had to leave because he fouled a fastball off of his kneecap. And Sir Anthony Dominguez walks Arozarena. And now Cal Raleigh is coming up to the plate with a man on first base and none out. It's ugly. It's ugly, people. It's not pretty baseball from your Toronto Blue Jays to start this series. Cal gets a pitch right down the middle of the plate, and thankfully he does not offer at it. Sir Anthony Dominguez walked the first batter he faced. And now Cal's at the plate. Swings at a fastball off the edge of the zone there. That is 0-2. That's good. That's good. 0-2 is good. O2 is good. Pickoff attempt here. Throwing over to Arozarena, who's on first base. The Jays can't afford to allow a run in this inning here. Hey, there we go. That is what you like to see. That is what you like to see out of Sir Anthony Dominguez. Strikeout of Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh. He had the big home run for the for the Mariners to make. Oh no! That's a stolen base for Arozarena, but the ball gets past Kirk, and thankfully Arozarena was sliding into second and did not see the pass ball, so he could not advance to third. But now the Seattle Mariners have a runner in scoring position for Julio Rodriguez. The count is 1-0. Mason Fluharty is warming up in the pen, the lefty. Fluharty up in the pen. Arozarena stealing third! How are the Jays letting this happen? Arozarena's running wild on the base pass. Steals second and then third on back-to-back pitches. You don't like that. You don't like that at all. Man on third. The count is 3-0 here. Dominguez against Rodriguez. Rodriguez now with a base runner on third. Just needs to get some contact in play to cash this thing and make it a 2-run lead for Seattle heading to the bottom of the 8th. But we're a ways away from that. Let's see if the Jays can get out of this inning somehow. That's a ball outside of the zone. 99 does not catch enough of the plate. First and third, Seattle. I don't know if Sir Anthony Dominguez is capable of throwing strikes here. I don't know. That last pitch, it was close, but the Blue Jays have had so many pitches go their way, important pitches go their way, that you can't expect to get that one on Julio Rodriguez. Like, it caught a little of the plate here. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is that last pitch that led to that walk. Oh, there you go. That fifth ball, it caught some of the plate, but the Jays have had so many calls go their way that it's expected one of these will go the Mariners' way. So, there you go. This is Emo Jalapeno says, super chat, first of all, here's some little confetti for your super chat. Oh, there it is. Emo Jalapeno writes, EXO, excuse my ignorance. Ball one there. What's stopping them from putting Trey in? I know he's supposed to start tomorrow. The pitching lineup / rules / hurt my head. So he's a starting pitcher. So Trey Savage wouldn't pitch in this game unless it was like game 7 and there's like no tomorrow. So you're not going to use his arm in this situation because you have relief pitchers for that. The Blue Jays have on their roster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 relief pitchers they're going with, if you count Bassett in there too. So 9 relief pitchers, like this is their job. So you wouldn't bring Trey Savage into a situation like this. He's going to pitch tomorrow, and he's going to start the game. So that's kind of how starting pitching works. You have 5 starters during the regular season, and they pitch on every 5 days. So they go through a 5-man rotation, and then when they're done, they're part of the outing in the game. You go to your bullpen, which are your relief pitchers. So you have guys who are stretched out is kind of the term. You're stretched out to pitch like 6, 7, 8 innings if you're a starting pitcher. And there's a ground ball, base hit into right field by Jorge Polanco. And that thing is going to score Rodriguez. Sorry, Arozarena. Rodriguez goes to second. Jorge Polanco cashes that runner. Remember, as Mason Manning points out, the only reason Randy Arozarena was on the base pass was because Sir Anthony Dominguez walked him. If you've been on any of these streams, you know what I ask of the Blue Jays bullpen, what they continue to not do. I ask time and time and time again, throw strikes. Make the hitters beat you. You can't allow free bases. You can't allow these hitters to just get on base because you can't throw it over the plate. They struggle with walks. They have all season long, even in the Yankees game, that the bullpen had a masterclass performance, and they won that game. They clinched it in game number 4. They had a lot of walks that game. A lot of silly pitching where you can just throw a strike and make the hitter beat you. The walk is going to hurt you harder in the long run. And that was an ugly outing by Sir Anthony Dominguez. He comes in, is only able to get 1 out, walks 2 batters, allows 1 earned run so far. He's still responsible for the 2 men that are on base. And now Mason Fluharty's got to come in and try and save his rear end. Sedin Magic 15 says, can't hit, can't pitch, can't win this way. That's for darn sure. That is for darn sure. Mason Fluharty here on the mound, the lefty. He is in to face Josh Naylor, the Canadian. We'll see what Fluharty can do to try and stop this rally at 1 run. If they can just get a double play here, I'll be more than satisfied. It's lefty on lefty. Oh! Fluharty gets a ridiculous strike call, and Josh Naylor looks at the umpire sideways. Oh my goodness, that was a bad call. That was so far off the plate. Pickoff attempt at second. Hidden ball trick tried as well. Josh Naylor I'm hoping that he's a secret double agent and is actually going to ground into a double play here to help out his Canadians and his Canadian team. That's what I'm rooting for here. We got a 0-2 count. Mason Fluharty coming in. Getting an 0-2 count that's now run up to 1-2. One out in the inning still. A double play puts us out of our misery here. We'll see what happens with this 1-2 pitch to Naylor. That's good enough. That is good enough. That is a strikeout there. Josh Naylor, double agent for Canada. Mark Carney's paying him under the table. Strikes out on purpose to help out his hometown Toronto Blue Jays. We know it. Thank you for the wink to the camera, Josh. I'm not really good at winking. There you go. Winking's kind of hard. How often do you wink in life? Like, winking's not a common thing. And when you're, like, you got to think to, like, do it. You're like, I got to wink. Suarez here. 2 out. 0-1 is the count. 2 men on. You got to think like a base hit cashes another one, so you can't have that. You can't afford anything getting down here. The Jays need an out. They need to keep this game a 2-run game. Mason Fluharty needs to save Sir Anthony Dominguez here. That's a ball in. 2-1 in the count. Bailey, thank you for coming. Bailey says they forgot about the stream. How dare you? We'll be back tomorrow night. If you are here today, come back tomorrow. Oh, ugly play pickoff at second. Clement was not on PitchCom. Did not know a pickoff attempt was coming, and that ball was almost thrown into center field. Holy cow. I hate PitchCom. PitchCom is like my mortal enemy. It's so stupid. Just use your fingers. We've been calling signs for 200 years of baseball. What's the point of PitchCom? It's so silly. You get stuff like that because it's technology. You almost throw the ball in the center field in the American League Championship Series because of PitchCom. Like, you're literally allowing a game possibly to be decided because you threw the ball in the center field because your PitchCom wasn't working. Ernie Clement didn't know it was coming. Use your fingers. Call signs. I'm so mad. That is Mason Fluharty throwing a 2-2 pitch that's fouled off by Suarez. Two out here. Rogers Center on their feet. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Fluharty gets him. Third out of the inning. Limits the damage. Mason Fluharty comes in and does his job. Well done, Mason. That's what we like to see out of the bullpen. Pick up where Sir Anthony Dominguez couldn't do it. Well done. Willie P93 says, love Fluharty. We do love ourselves some Mason Flu. Bailey says, unless you've got Judge on base. Yeah, those Yankees are so good at stealing signs. Like, they must practice it somehow. We have a super chat here. Air horns for the super chat. They have the most comeback wins in the league this year. It's not over. Facts. Facts. The Jays got 6 out years to do something. Matt Brash is coming in. Jimenez, Springer, Straw, due up for the Jays. If you want to talk about double agents in Josh Naylor, Matt Brash, also double agent Canadian from Kingston, Ontario. Matt Brash went to Bay Ridge Secondary School in Kingston, Ontario. He led that team to 2 championships during his run there. He also went to Niagara University in Lewiston, New York, played college baseball there, and then eventually got drafted out of there by the Padres. Let's hope Matt Brash grew up a hardcore Jays fan. Is like being paid under the table by Rogers. And they gave him enough money to throw this one here in the 8th inning for the Jays. Hopefully he serves up a couple meatballs to Jimenez, Springer, and Straw. That's what I want. Right down the middle. J-Rock with the super chat to Justin Fisher, who's running the SDPN account right now in the chat. When are you getting the SDPN blog, Justin? LOL. That is a long-running bit. You've been here for a while, J-Rock. Justin's blog is something that is always coming soon. Here is Andres Jimenez falling behind in the count, 0-1. Here's a ground ball to first base. First out of the inning by Josh Naylor. That's a Canadian throwing, Canadian on first base. In Canada. I don't like it. George Springer is coming to the plate. If you remember George Springer in the first inning, way back when, 2.5 hours ago, hit a home run for the Toronto Blue Jays. Can George Springer do some more damage here? Oh, foul ball. Hard cut by George there. He was swinging for the fences on that one. Could not get that one in play, though. So we got an 0-2 count for George. And oh, my goodness. George Springer swings and misses on a slider that might have been, like, where was that slider? That slider might have been in Kingston. Matt Brash might have thrown that slider back to Kingston. And George Springer swung at it, and he struck out. Davis Schneider is now at the plate. He comes in to hit for Miles Straw. Nathan Lucas left with a left knee contusion. Miles Straw came into right field to play defense and hit for him. And now Davis Schneider is at the plate in replace of Miles Straw. Can Davis Schneider get anything going for the Toronto Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 8th inning? 2 outs here. A ground out and a strikeout. 1-1 in the count. And Davis Schneider cannot do it. That is the 3rd out of the inning. It is a pop fly to center field. And we are done here in the bottom of the 8th. 3 outs remain for the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 1 of the ALCS. It looks like Jeff Hoffman will be on the mound for the Jays coming up in the top of the 9th. Damon Whitaker says, needless to say, need to hold them here. Big boppers coming up for the Jays. Denise Campbell just says, damn. Damn indeed, Denise. Emo Jalapeno is manifesting a Jays grand slam. They don't even need a grand slam. They just need 3 runs. I'll take a 3-run home run. That'll win it if they can hold on here in the top of the 9th inning. All right. I don't know if I have a rally cap around. I don't think I have a rally cap. I was looking to see if I had something to rally. What should we do? What should we do to bring good juju to the Jays? I don't know if I have any. I don't have a hat. Uh-oh. Is this my fault? Should we start the wave? Can we start the wave in the chat? Is that bad to start the wave when you're losing? I'm trying to manufacture. Oh! Switch jerseys. Okay. We're gonna try. We're gonna switch jerseys. All right. I'm gonna switch jerseys. The great idea, Smoke Water. Okay, everybody give me a second. All right. Let's do this thing. Okay, we have the gray. We're going gray. We've thrown away the Toronto Blue Jays Travis Snyder jersey. We're putting on the gray Toronto jersey. That's what we're going with, the road jerseys. Let's see if the road jersey can do anything for us here. All right, I don't have it on yet. Hold, you gotta pause the game. Pause. Hit option on your controller, MLB. Okay, here we go. Jeff Hoffman's on the mound. If this jersey is any luck, Jeff Hoffman will throw a scoreless inning here, and he'll retire Dominic Canzone first, who is behind in the count 1-0. We got the gray Toronto on. Gray Toronto, let's see. If they come back here, I'm wearing this thing for next week. I'm wearing this thing every day. I'm never taking it off again. It is magical if this thing works. Jeff Hoffman here, 1-1 count, deals, ball outside, 2-1. Sedin Magic 15, he has to throw a scoreless inning. That is facts. Muted kills. Great idea. Put your jersey inside out if you're wearing a jersey right now. If you got a hat on, throw it inside out. Let's do it. Jerseys inside out. There's an out. Vladdy picks it up. First out of the inning. We're going jerseys inside out. That's what we got now. All right. Inside out Toronto Grays for good luck. Victor Robles at the plate here. 1 down. Hoffman got the first batter. Let's see if he can get the second one here. Make quick work of the Mariners. Get the Jays lineup back up. Jack Esquire says, so far, so good. Yeah, we need a scoreless inning here. We need a couple Jays runs, at least 2 in the bottom of the 9th. You want me to make... Steven Schiller says, make the jersey in your background inside out, too. Lasers, new sub here. Shout out Lasers. While you are all here and we are rallying, hit like on this video. I haven't told you that. There's a little blooper. Ah! A bloop single. Ernie couldn't get there in time. Could Ernie not try and catch that? Could Ernie Clement not run over there and catch that in the air? Oh, my goodness. Okay, J-Rock said, hey, Jesse, do you wash any of your jerseys? I don't wash my jerseys enough. I should wash them more. They need more washes. That I will admit that. I wash them, but not enough, for sure. I haven't washed any of them since the Jays got into the playoffs, though. So, yeah, they need a little wash. Yeah, that Ernie Clement play was weird. I thought, like, it was in the air enough he could just run over and catch it. That was disappointing. Hoffman throwing this pitch to Crawford. 2-0 now. 2-0 to the number 9 hitter. You want me to rant again, Hoffman? You want me to rant about walks and this darn bullpen? All you guys do is walk batters. All you do is walk batters and fall behind hitters. That's all this bullpen does. Jeff Hoffman here. 2-1 in the count. Number 9 hitter. 0 for 3 on the day. You start off 2-0. Oh, there we go. The runner was going, so they can't turn 2. Ernie throws to first for the second out of the inning. But Arozarena is now at the plate, and Victor Robles moved over to second. Not ideal. Not ideal. Randy Arozarena swings and misses the first pitch of the at bat. All right. Let me go switch that jersey. We got 0-1 in the count here. Swing and miss again. Great job, Hoffman. That's what you like to see. Remember I was talking about strikes? Back-to-back strikes, back-to-back swings and misses. Beautiful. Love that. All right, jersey's going inside out. Jersey is officially rally mode. Rally mode jersey. Arozarena strikes out. Rally jersey works on the first batter. Let's go. All right. We got a super chat from Sedin Magic that says, come on, Jays. Time to pull another rabbit out of your hats. That'll do. Okay. Woo! Hoffman. Scoreless top of the 9th. Due up for the Toronto Blue Jays in the bottom of the 9th. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Addison Barger, Alejandro Kirk, the meat of the Blue Jays order. And what I need the Blue Jays to do is remember who they are. That's the comeback kids. Nobody in baseball has more fun than this team. Nobody in baseball comes back in games in crucial moments and comes up clutch more than the bats in this Toronto lineup. They have the opportunity here in the highest leverage situation of their season so far to deliver one in front of their hometown fans in Game 1 of the LCS. They can come back here, get 2 runs on the board at least, maybe even 3 to win this thing in the 9th. All I know is they got 3 outs left to deliver, and this team's got it in them to deliver. You want no one but Vladdy at the plate first to start this thing off. And that's who we're getting right now. Let's lock in here. It's the bottom of the 9th. We're rooting for a Jays comeback. Let's go. Rogers Center on their feet for Vladdy. Walking to the plate here. You see rally caps all over the place. I don't need to tell you they're down by 2. You already know that. Mariners got their shutdown guy on the mound. Munoz starts off with a ball. Outside, 1-0 is the count. 1-0 count to Vladdy. Fastball down the middle. Munoz, 97. 1-1 now. Vladdy swings and hits it foul. One and 2. I'm worried about that 98 four-seamer. He throws the slider. Vladdy makes weak contact on it to short. Thrown out. 1 out in the inning. 2 outs left for the Toronto Blue Jays. Down 2 runs. Bottom of the 9th. 2 outs left. 1 out. Addison Barger's coming up next. I hope everybody has their rally gear on, whether that's your jersey inside out or your cap inside out. Addison Barger here, first pitch swinging. He is out. Munoz comes in, retires the first 2 batters very quickly. That was a quick out by Barger there. The first pitch couldn't get quicker than that. Alejandro Kirk, the final out of the game, on the line here during his at-bat. A high strike is called. That's 0-1 in the count. Let's see if Alejandro Kirk can extend this game. Swing. Went around. Strike 2. We will be back on stream tomorrow no matter the result here. But it is not looking good for your Toronto Blue Jays. 0-2 count. Kirk. Pop fly. Out to shallow left field. A Rosarena comes in, and that is a final. 3-1 Mariners is the final. The Toronto Blue Jays, after the second inning, did not register a hit. They were hitless from the second inning on. You can't win ball games like that. This is a really tough loss. In a situation where you were going to get up against Bryce Miller, pitching on 3 days rest for the first time in his career, in a situation where the Seattle Mariners were coming in after a cross-continent flight, after playing 15 innings of baseball on Friday night. All of their arms are tired. They come into Toronto, deliver a 3-1 victory on the back of a fantastic pitching performance by everybody who took the mound for them today. Well done, Mariners. Well done, Seattle. That is it. So I am here streaming every single Jays game. That means tomorrow night we will be back here again. I keep saying night, but the game starts at 5. 5 p.m. first pitch tomorrow. Stream gets going at 5 p.m. If you're also a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, Leafs play at 2 tomorrow. That'll lead directly into our broadcast. That'll be fun. Learning Languages Turbo Linga says, rally speech awesome. It didn't work. They didn't listen. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the rally going. That's it. This graphic's going to change. It's going to say Series 1-0 for the Seattle Mariners. All right. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Before you go, hit like on this video. Hit like, hit like, hit like, hit like. Hit subscribe if you really want to support the channel. I'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be watching this game with me, and I appreciate you for that. That's it. Jays lose 3-1. We're back at it tomorrow. They are down 1-0 in the series.